Welcome to Thomistic Womanhood. In today's video, we are going to discuss a pertinent question for those of us that are a little bit on the fluffier side like myself. And the question is, should I wait to date until after I lose weight? So that is a bit of a tongue twister, but it is something that a lot of us women, worry about. We see all these like media messages of these super skinny girls. And, sometimes you'll see in a lot of guys' online profiles, like, oh, I want a woman who's, in shape or whatever. And so, sometimes you kind of wonder and you're like, man, should I like stop dating, lose a bunch of weight, and then start again? Now, I'm sure there's probably people who are going to be in the yes camp. I'm not. I'm actually team no. And here's why. I don't think you should stop dating, lose weight, and then, come back to dating again. And I have multiple reasons for thinking this. First of all, I didn't do that. I met my husband when I was like a good, I'm kind of fluffy, okay? Like you can tell. Plus, like being on camera, like they say it adds like 20 pounds, and so yeah, I was overweight. I still am overweight, and when I met my husband, like he did not mind at all. And so basically, you will, if you are a little on, if you have a few extra pounds, you're gonna filter out the shallow jerks. They're gonna look and, for the guys that are really hung up on weight, a lot of those kind of men you don't want, because once you marry them throughout your lifespan, you and him will fluctuate with weight. And so if he's the kind of guy that's, going to be upset about that, that you put on some weight, you don't want someone like that. And so if you are starting, if you meet him with a few extra pounds, you're going to filter out men like that, and it can actually, save you some trouble. So there's that. And then another thing, men don't expect perfection. I think a lot of times when us women go, oh, I have to be at my ideal weight, or I will not date, I won't find the right guy if I'm not at my perfect weight. You have to understand that men don't expect perfection. They expect effort. If you're eating well and you've got an exercise program you're working on, because don't get me wrong, I am all for losing a healthy amount of weight. I'm working on losing weight, trying to, eat well and exercise and stuff. I'm bad about exercise, but yeah, I need to get better about that. But, it's something I'm working on, and I do encourage, I think everybody should work on managing their weight, especially with all the like fast food and the preservatives and junk that's in our food. It's really easy to get your metabolism screwed up, and the stress levels, oh my gosh, everybody is carrying extra weight, I feel like. Especially if you're watching this from America, we are known for being heavy, but men understand this, they understand it, and they don't expect perfection, they just expect effort. If you're sitting on the couch, eating potato chips, and you're just like ballooning up and you don't even care at all, then yeah, some guys will have a problem with that. But on the other hand, if you recognize it and you're like, I want to be more healthy, I want to eat better, I want to, do this exercise, blah, blah, blah. As long as you're making an effort toward it, most guys are satisfied with that. So this whole idea that you have to be the perfect weight, guys who think that way are usually the shallow jerks I talked about earlier. So just know that as long as you're working on it, like that's all guys really care about, And then the next thing is men like all kinds of weights. This is something that we don't really know because of the way the media is, and Hollywood, and the images of the women we get are all the really skinny women. And there's reasons for this. First of all, one of the big reasons, like in modeling, in fashion magazines, the girls are always super skinny. Well, the reason for that is the way the clothes are made. They don't want to have to spend a lot of money buying too many clothes for different models. They want to buy the clothes once, when they're doing these photo shoots. They don't want their merchandise to, be spoiled. And so they want clothes that are going to fit the widest, they want women who are going to fit the widest amount of outfits. And so if you get a very skinny girl, she's like a hanger, and you just put the clothes on her, and then you don't really see her body, you see the clothes, and then the merchandise, you don't have to adjust the clothes or do anything to the clothes, really. They'll do things to the girls and tell them they're too fat and things like that. But in general, the modeling industry picks skinny women because it's better from a merchandise and cutting business costs point of view. Okay, so like that's one thing you need to understand. When you see all these skinny girls in like magazines, they're not picking them because that's what's considered beautiful. They're picking them because that's what's convenient for the fashion business that is hiring this model and paying for this photo shoot. Okay, so that's one thing to know about. And then second, like in Hollywood and stuff, Hollywood is trying to sell the movie. They're selling movie tickets. They're selling Blu-ray discs. They want you to go see this movie. And so in order to do that, they're going to pick women that are the broadest appeal, that have the most appeal to the highest amount of men, okay? They're not going to pick, there are men out there, because every guy has his type. Some men like curvier women, other men like the really skinny athletic type. It just depends on, what this guy's particular type is. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about men and weight is the idea that there's only one ideal weight. If you talk to men, it varies. There's always going to be a guy out there that likes your size. But the reason Hollywood does what they do is most men like a slimmer woman, okay? And that's why you're going to see it on Hollywood, because again, it's a sales thing. They're trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator, to the broadest number of men. However, that is not to say that there aren't significant amounts of men that are interested in, heavier, curvier women, okay? And then on the other spectrum, there's men that really dig the anorexic look, okay? So they're out there. Don't feel like there's something wrong with you if you're a little overweight and despite your best efforts, you're having trouble, getting it off. There will definitely be a guy out there that is attracted to you just the weight you're at. Now, again, I think it's, we should all try to work on our health. I think it's important to work on your health, not necessarily your weight, because if you're healthy, then you'll naturally be at a weight that's good for your body, But don't think that no guy's gonna want you if you're a little overweight. Like, that's not how it works. I'm a bit overweight. And my husband will tell me, like, if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do on this like weight loss thing and blah blah blah, and he's like, you're not gonna lose weight, are you? I like the way you look. Don't change. Because again, like, I'm at the weight that he is attracted to, and rather than want me to lose weight, he actually kind of views it with dismay when I tell him, like, I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight. And he's seen pictures of me when I was at like a much skinnier weight. And he sits there and he goes, you were too skinny. You were too skinny. And so, again, guys like all different types, okay? So, the other thing too, though, is sometimes we women can be, and I know I've been there, I was like this more about like, processing trauma and stuff. We often have some sort of thing that we use as a reason to sit out the dating market, the dating scene. Because it's a mess out there, and it can often be easier to tell ourselves, well, I am not, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not at the right weight, so I'm gonna wait on dating, Or like for me, my big thing wasn't weight, it was, well, I didn't really, I haven't processed enough trauma, maybe that's why, or, and there's different reasons that we'll tell ourselves, to kind of excuse ourselves not getting involved in, dating and finding someone, because it can be scary, like nobody wants to be hurt. So if you are asking this question, be really honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I claiming this weight as a milestone, as kind of a gateway, like once I do this, then I can start dating? Are you telling yourself that because, like, that's what you really want? Or are you telling yourself that because you're scared to date? Just food for thought. Something to think about. The other thing, now, having said all that, there is one exception. If you're watching this and you're like, no, Gloria, I really need to lose weight. I'm not hiding from anything. I just really need to lose weight. Okay, maybe you're very overweight, maybe you are like, I don't know, maybe you're like 300 pounds or something, and you're like, no, I really need to lose weight. I'd say the exception to this would be if you have a plan, like let's say you have a glow up plan, and you know what you're going to eat every day. You know, you've chosen a diet. I did the Eat to Live diet. It's a really good one. But whatever it is, you know, you've got your diet picked and you know it's going to work, especially for your body type. You know why you particularly put on weight. You know, it can be different reasons. Sometimes it's a thyroid issue. Sometimes you have PCOS. Sometimes it's just junk food. Sometimes you just eat too much stuff, you know. Just, you know what it is, and you know how you're gonna work on it, you know, and you have a fitness plan together, you know how you're gonna exercise, and you have it, and you have a time-based thing, okay? This is the important part. If it's just some indefinite glow-up plan that you haven't really set, you know, a target for when it's going to be done, you know, if you have a clear plan, you know what you're going to eat, you know where you're going to work out, you know exactly how much weight you want to lose, and you know how much time you're giving yourself. You're like, I will eat the such and such diet, and I will work out 3 times a week, and I will, you know, lose 25 pounds in 90 days, you know, by September, whatever, you know, whatever 90 days is, and you have it all very clear, and then you've told yourself, like, I will start dating again, regardless of whether it works, you know, then in that case, I would say, yeah, you should do it. But it has to be something where you have a very specific limit to it. It's not some open-ended thing where you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna wait until I lose weight, and I haven't really picked my diet yet. I'm not dating until I lose weight. But yet you're not really doing anything concrete to lose weight. In that case, I'd be like, no, you should just keep dating. But if you have a plan and you've got a timeline and you are very, you know, specific about it, and you're gonna keep dating, whether you know, let's say you start on your plan and you slack off, and then 3 months later you're like, I didn't really lose weight, but I guess I'll just do another 90-day plan, and I'll just sit out dating again another 90 days. Don't do that to yourself. You know, if you're gonna do it, stick to it, but tell yourself, you know, I'm gonna go back to dating whether or not I, you know, execute my plan. That in itself can actually be really motivating. You can end up, you know, like, if you know, like, oh, I'm gonna date whether I lose weight or not, so I better work my plan, you know, it can be really motivating. So anyways, those are my thoughts on that question. I hope it's helpful for you. So good luck whatever you decide to do. If you decide to lose weight, you know, and wait on the dating, good luck with that. Make a plan and give yourself a timeline and a deadline. And then, yeah, if you choose to date anyways, good for you. Like, good luck. And I hope this was helpful. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, and I hope you have a great day.